with Guillermo Ion and our special guest, Christine Geronimo from Midnight Supply Company. Welcome to Spill the Tea. Yay! Yay! This is our
Spill the tea.
very first. Cheers! Let's spill the tea.
Cheers.
Cheers! 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 You always have to take a sip after you cheers. It's good luck. So welcome to our very first episode, and we're so thankful that Christine took time out of her super busy schedule to join Guillermo and I so we can spill the tea. We have a lot to talk about today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So Christine, I see you cut your hair a little bit, right?
Yep, just a little, maybe 4 inches or so.
Was that your summer cut?
Summer cut. I needed to get a majority of this blonde out.
Oh, okay. Okay. Didn't you have another color or something at one point?
Silver, we did purple. Maybe it was purple you saw me with.
Yeah. In January? Was it purple in January?
Maybe. I can't recall. It's just blonde now.
Okay. No, we should all do orange. Oh, our signature orange color.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Is this what is this one? Terracotta?
That one is that was like a coral color? Like a coral color? I don't remember, but you got a nice little goodie bag with your teacup and your coaster.
Yeah. Meryl got me this tote bag. We got the Spill the Tea mug with the Spill the Tea placed on my Spill the Tea coaster.
And now
Thank you,
now we're ready. No, we're all ready to spill the tea. So my favorite topic is talking about t-shirts and talking about work. I don't know if it's your favorite topic too, but it's something that we talk about all the time. So Christine, what would you like to really want people to know in the screen printing industry about Midnight Supply Company and about yourself?
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I own Midnight Supply Company, and we are in Seattle, Washington. Most of the time, I just want people to know that we exist. I think that a lot of our clientele comes to us via word of mouth or Instagram, just a lot of natural avenues. And I just want people to know that we exist so that in the chance that they are thinking of producing t-shirts or some type of apparel, or they know someone that's looking for a shop that's local, that they'll think of us. So, yep, if you're in Seattle, let us know if you need teas.
Do you have a lot of competition in Seattle with t-shirts?
I don't really see other print shops as our competition. There are a lot in the area that we're in. We're in an industrial neighborhood in Seattle, and probably within 2 miles from us, there's at least 5 other print shops of various sizes too, and shops that have been around for a while, some that are newer. But I think each shop kind of has their own list of clientele and their own niche of clients that they tailor to. So only if someone is really like price shopping or just looking for someone to do something quick, I think that they're kind of shopping around and reaching out to some of our competition or some of the other shops out here. But I guess it's not really a competition.
In your area, we're fortunate in our area. You're fortunate in your area. I think aren't you pretty close to Sandmar? So if somebody wants something, you can like place an order and get it the next day.
Yeah, we're also trying to avoid rush orders that make us scramble and have to run to Sandmar a day of, but we do have that option because Sandmar has one of their warehouses out here. So even if it's like not a quick turnaround, but something's on the press and something goes wrong and we need to replace a garment quickly, we do have that option to run to the warehouse, but it is kind of an inconvenience and something that we are trying to avoid at all costs.
Right, right, right. I would say that we try to do the same thing here too.
Yeah,
Actually, we just got a call today for a rush order, and it's crazy because you can make so many mistakes on a rush order that it's
so
ridiculous. Like
many.
not even worth it. Not even worth doing the rush order.
Yeah.
Unless like some major famous person calls and needs a million shirts by the concert this weekend. But
Yeah, then we're ready.
which right, we're totally ready. We're ready for that.
How many shirts? What do you want?
Right, right, right. Jeremiah, I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to ask Christine.
Yeah. Well, first of all, hi, Christine, again. So nice to talk to you again. And
Good to see you.
yeah, yeah, I will. I have a question about. This is just inside topics already because I would like to know the difference between working with a graphic designer and a regular client because most people will think that working with a graphic designer is easy in a lot of ways, maybe in the technical part, but I know for as a graphic designer we can be a little bit stubborn and no, I want it this way, not that way. So I'm asking how's it different with that and with the client that says, oh, hi, I want this. That's this screenshot on my phone. So I don't know if you what's that
Yeah.
your experience?
Well, typically we don't have graphic design in house.
Okay.
And if people don't have print ready files, which we typically ask for orders, then we have kind of a roster of local graphic designers that we can refer to them depending on what type of logo they're looking for. We just don't have the graphic design in house. And then if it's something like, creating a word in a certain font, like something
Yeah.
simple like that, we can do that and don't typically outsource it, but we do charge like an hourly fee for having to put the file together. Like we ask for print ready files, and then if we have to make any adjustments, then we're charging the hourly fee.
So which one is easier to well is easy going to working with a graphic designer or just regular client that says, oh, if you have to do that adjustment, it's okay, just do it.
Yeah, I mean the client that tells us to just, yeah, go ahead and do it, it's gonna be
Yeah, that's why
easier
I'm
than,
asking.
yeah, than with the graphic designer. I mean, everything is so nitpicky. There's so many
Yeah.
stages, there's so many changes. And I think what gets lost is the communication between what the ultimate goal is for the design. If we don't provide much information, then the graphic designer doesn't have much to go off of, and then what they end up producing may not be what we actually wanted because we didn't voice that up front. So I think it's definitely more difficult to deal with the graphic designers and do logo creations. And if the customer is just kind of open to anything, then yeah, that makes the job easier.
Yeah, I think that this type of a thing is one of the obstacles we have in our industry, and it is almost like a roadblock in getting the order done because the average person thinks that you have pricing off the top of your head, like hey, I want to do a
Yeah.
T-shirt. How much is it? Right? How many times do you hear that a day? I've already heard it 3 times today. How much is a T-shirt? I need 50 of them. How much are they? Well, what do you mean you don't know how much they are? What do you mean? Here's my artwork right here. Here's my artwork right here. They show you on your
Yeah.
phone or their phone, or they text you a screenshot, and they don't
Or
understand
someone
about.
drawing it like on a napkin.
Yeah, well, but that's how we used to do it on napkins. That was actually better because you could see it.
It's like, here's my design.
Right here it is on the napkin. It's
Put
a
it on a t-shirt.
right the pizza from a pizza parlor with marinara sauce on it. Here, that's what I
Don't
want.
get me wrong, it can be done. It just takes time.
Right, right. That'll take an extra day, right?
Yeah.
But some of these obstacles, I mean, we laugh about it, but we continuously talk about it. So it is a big, big, big roadblock in our industry that the customer doesn't understand. We need artwork. We can't just, like, poof, it's on the shirt. And they don't understand that. If there was like a super simple way to explain then maybe they would. In fact, the customer or the potential customer that called me, that messaged me over the weekend, didn't understand that if you had two colors, it was going to be more than one color. And if you print it on the back of the shirt, if you already have the shirt, that's going to be more too. But with they either do understand and they're playing dumb, or they just really do not understand. I wish I could explain it in like terms. Sometimes people understand food better. So like you tell them, if you go to the deli and you get a hoagie and you ask for it with cheese and all the other stuff on it, it's going to be more than if you just put the meat on it, because you're adding more ingredients. So when you kind of like translate it to food, people kind of understand that maybe a little bit more. You can go to the grocery store and they will write your name on the birthday cake for free, but that's not how it works in t-shirts.
Yeah.
So it's a huge hindering block in growth, because it takes a lot of time, and it does. We have conversations about it all the time. So I think how many marketing directors do you work with? Because I think that when we work with a marketing director, that actually is better for us than actually let's say the owner of the company or the person off the street.
Oh, yeah.
Business has a marketing director or a graphic design team. They kind of understand a little bit, from my perspective, they understand a little bit more about what they're going to get, what the finished product is going to be.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, typically it's just if we're in direct contact with the graphic designer or someone that's on the art side in general, then it's ideal. But also, we work with a lot of small businesses, and one person is doing 50 different jobs at a time. So I feel like a majority of people don't know what goes into printing a t-shirt. So as frustrated as it can be, we kind of have to hold their hand through the process and explain certain things, especially when they're like, can't you just throw in 2 youth tees? When it's like, well, we have to set up the artwork in a different size in order to do that, which is a whole nother thing. So, it just takes some explaining and communication.
So let's get into the real juicy stuff. Let's really spill the tea on knowledge. I know that it was not a question in the list of questions that we were going to talk about today, but so
curveball,
total curveball. Christine, you have had the opportunity to actually see t-shirt production for 2 different manufacturers. So you've been in the guts of actually making the t-shirt, making the apparel, sewing, dyeing, washing, putting it together, patterns. Give us a little scoop.
Yeah, so Meryl and I were on the Guild and Board of Decorators together 2021 into 2022 for Gildan. So we had the opportunity to travel to Honduras to see their manufacturing facilities, dyeing, sewing, and then recently, just last week, I was able to visit Bella Canvas with the Print Girl Mafia. They had 30 women in the industry come out to tour the Bella Canvas facilities. And then day 2 was kind of a panel of 3 people from Bella Canvas and then 3 people from the Print Girl Mafia on during the panel discussion. But having the opportunity to see inside of these facilities that make these t-shirts has definitely been eye-opening, because every single day UPS shows up with just boxes of t-shirts, and you never really think about the journey that they've gone through from cotton to arriving at the print shop. And especially just thinking about the numbers, like how many t-shirts these companies are producing per day, per hour. It's just insane. They're manufacturing leaders in the world, so it's not like these operations are something small in one warehouse. It spreads across multiple warehouses. There's sewing specifically just for fleece in one facility, and then there's sewing specifically just for, there's like a room to sew sleeves, like we saw that in Honduras. You remember that
Right,
room?
right. That room, they were
It was
just
just
doing
multiple
sleeves.
machines
And remember, it was going
just
from like
doing
collar
sleeves.
to the sleeve to the next person. It was kind of like going down a line and they had like, all the sewing machines. They were legitimate. They weren't like computers sewing. It was human beings
Yeah.
making everything. And
I would say it was like a dozen people per t-shirt. It was like one person working on the collar, one person
right.
putting the tag in, 4 people working on sleeves, someone working on the bottom hem. And
So
then it's that times 100 plus.
How is it compared to Gildan? Because I mean, here we're talking about like Los Angeles. It was in Los Angeles, right? So Los Angeles is like a big city. Like it's a big city. You don't think that they have like factories? Is it a building? Is it like a tall building? Is it like what kind of?
Yeah. So the headquarters was in Beverly Hills, but the manufacturing facilities was somewhere south of Los Angeles. We drove about 30 minutes. But you're right. I mean, these facilities are insane. And Bella Canvas had the largest cutting room floor in the Western Hemisphere, is what they said. So just like being in that room was a little overwhelming. But yeah, like Gildan has football fields worth of warehouses. Mm-hmm. I think Bella Canvas was a little bit smaller because there was just the specific U.S. made T-shirts that they're actually sewing there, but everything else is sewn overseas, so they didn't have as big of an operation.
Okay. So just our U.S. made stuff is what is made in
was sewn there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
well, that makes
that's probably why the sewing was a little sparse,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes more sense. Is that where so their corporate office, you said, was in Beverly Hills, and they sewed in another location?
Yeah, the warehouse was elsewhere, but then headquarters was in Beverly Hills, where they also have like a wellness company called Alo. Are you familiar with that? ALO?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So we went and toured those offises, which is just insane. Okay. They have like, it's pretty much a spa in that office. They have hot tubs and saunas and infrared, treatments, and
do they have an ice bath?
Ice baths, yeah.
Ice baths are very popular in our industry.
There's a theater in there. There's a music studio in there. So
wow.
Yeah.
See, for all the successful people take ice baths in the morning now. That's what you have to do. You successful take an ice bath. Right?
One day I might get into it or try it.
I don't know if it's like worth it if it's 1,000 degrees outside and you take an ice bath outside and the ice melts. Does that count? Or does it have to be like in Wisconsin in midwinter when you take an ice bath?
No thanks.
So we actually had the rep who was kind of like the original founder of Lane 7 in our shop this morning, which was kind of neat. I thought he was really just a salesperson, but he said that he was the person that kind of started. Maybe he'll come on and spill the tea one of these days, maybe in a month or so. Kind of neat. And he was showing us, their products and where you are. You said that the trend is a thicker T-shirt. People are liking that thick T-shirt because it hangs better, as opposed.
Yeah, I guess how it drapes. Yep.
Yeah.
And just we have a lot of clients that are in like streetwear, so they're looking for that heavier weighted T-shirt, oversized fit. And it's definitely a trend. More brands are coming out with different versions of their heavyweight version, heavyweight tee. And I just feel like even Bella Canvas is working on a heavy capsule of garments that are heavier than what they're normally producing. I don't think it's something that would permanently be on their line because they're more focused on just sticking to what they know, the lighter weight 4-ounce T-shirts. But I mean, over here we're looking at like 9-ounce T-shirts, 14-ounce hoodies. The heavier the better.
Right.
Heavy crops options. I think just to begin with, it was like Los Angeles Apparel, Shockaware, maybe Bayside had a version of the heavyweight tee, but now more and more brands, I think, are trying to offer a good option for that.
Mm-hmm. Right, that one T-shirt, TSTs that we saw.
T-style.
T-styles. I should know that because
T-style was the 990.
Type styles. I should know T-styles. I thought I have their car air freshener. When you told me what it was, like, I knew I kept this car air freshener for a reason. Have it on my desk.
That's right.
In my car. Yeah. So, what's it like printing on the heavier shirts compared to the lighter weight shirts?
I don't know if the printers have a specific preference. I will say that some of the heavier weighted things are like garment dyed, so we're having to pay extra attention to make sure that there's no dye migration in them. We've had a couple jobs where that had happened with Los Angeles Apparel, so ever since then we've just been more cautious about that. Yeah, I forgot what the question was.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have dye migration, are you basically having it? I know we basically do mostly direct to garment, direct to film here, where we can see what goes on with that as well. Even doing sometimes on vinyl, we have that same problem with dye migration, and
I didn't even know that happens with vinyl and transfers and stuff.
It happens. Yeah, it happens with with almost everything, especially with sublimated garments. So, like this is dry fit, but it's not sublimated, so it's not. Well, this is direct to film, and the white is nice and white. So that's. I think yours is a little bit beige. I think that your lettering is a little. Is it white or beige?
No, it's white.
It's white. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And I think Guillermo's.
I guess that makes sense because.
Yeah, white.
Yeah.
Like camo too. When you print on camo, it's a big issue.
But like sometimes when we have a shirt that's like, I don't have one like right next to me, but the camo hex shirts that are sublimated, when we do anything white, or you could see the pattern through the ink. Sometimes it looks cool, and we just have to tell the customer.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it looks cool. So I hope
normally it's not what they wanted.
It's not what they wanted, because they're like, this is what's going to happen. So it looks cool. Your shirt will be a little bit different, but there's just so much. I guess there's so much that you can do, because I mean, we find that just like almost anything, you don't know how it's going to come in. You don't know. I don't know every single shirt that's ordered, if it's dyed, what's going to happen to it. And some colors, when we first started with direct to garment, anything that was a gray heather it didn't work. Like, I don't know, it was like the weirdest thing. It just looked terrible. We couldn't print on it. And then all of a sudden we could print on it because we were using different pre-treats or whatever, or maybe
there's so many factors.
So many factors, the humidity,
so many factors,
whatever. But we don't, we don't know when it comes in, if it was treated with chemicals, when the fabric transferred from one place to another place. We don't know all those things. So you never can, you can't be 100% sure, which is kind of hard.
Yeah.
It
is hard.
Making
science.
It's like, it is a science. Remember at Gildan, the people that were doing the colors, the inks?
Yeah.
They were scientists. They were in that lab.
They are,
with those inks and everything, and the dyes, I mean. Yeah.
That's true.
To me, that's the most difficult part of large screen printing, to keep the same color consistency in each one of the t-shirt, because most of the people think that, it's just 1,000 t-shirt, just click print and that's it. I guess you have to look each one of the t-shirts, like the colors keep seeing the same, and to me that's the most difficult part, that 99% of the people don't understand. That's the job.
Right.
I know. It's
right. And I think having so many different manufacturers of t-shirts, that is, I mean, it's not like there's 1,000 of them. Well, maybe there are 1,000, but not 1,000 we deal with. Like I would say, we deal with like 5 or 6 on a daily basis.
Yeah.
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 And but still, like the nice shirt, the nice Gildan shirt is going to be a little different than the nice Bella shirt, and a little different. You know, that's the cut of it. Everything's going to be a little bit different, slightly. You know, like
Who's your top five, Meryl?
who's my top five? Whoa.
Yep.
Okay. So my
Spill the tea.
Now we're spilling the tea.
Now we're spilling.
Okay, but now we're gonna really spill the tea. Okay. I love the Gildan soft style. I think the Gildan soft style is I love it, and the Gildan CVC. I love that one.
All right, Sue.
Yeah, I love comfort colors. Okay, so now for my gift, that was a 3. I love District. I think that District.
Oh.
I think that District makes some really super cute shirts. I mean, unisex shirts, to me, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it does matter, but it doesn't matter because you can get a unisex shirt from any supplier. But the ones for the women, it really makes a big difference. So I love District. And I think that they're fitting everybody. So that's my top 4. And I don't know who my other 5th would be. I think I'm gonna.
What about hoodies? You doing fleece at all?
Yeah. I like anything with like a terry, like the terry feel. I love those. I think that they're really
Me too.
Like, very luxurious looking, handsome looking, and they fit nice. They feel nice, and they feel very good on. They feel just a little bit different than a regular basic t-shirt. Because how about you? What's your top 5?
Number 1 is probably going to be the hammer tee. You know, I love the hammer tee.
You love the hammer tee.
I do love American Apparel too.
We need to put Christine's meme of her hammer tee on this podcast.
I'll send it to you.
Send that to Guillermo.
I love the hammer tee. All together. I love American Apparel 2001. I will say that Los Angeles Apparel heavyweight tee is probably what's most used in here right now. I went down to the warehouse downstairs, showing a client through some of the garments, and it was a part of like 3 different orders. So I would say that we've been printing on that a lot. Let's see. I love comfort colors, and maybe what's a lighter weight t-shirt? Bella Canvas. You know, that used to be the number 1 selling t-shirt for us in like 2016, 2018, maybe the 3001. It's just a good t-shirt. It's easy to recommend. They have so many colors available. It's thinner, it's softer, and the fit is good too.
So they've really jacked the price up on a lot of the higher end shirts.
They have, but you know, all the prices have gone up.
Yeah, I think that
we didn't. I guess Gildan
are still good. They're still priced well, comparatively.
Yeah, Gildan is our number 1. We didn't even mention any Hanes, Fruit of the Loom, or jerseys or anything like that. No, they're not even in the conversation.
So for both of you, which is the brand that you not hate but not like to work with?
I don't really want to diss any brand.
No, you have to. Not everything is good. I mean,
that's spilling the tea. I don't know. I don't like.
We've been having.
Which one?
There's a particular brand of tote bags that we've been getting.
Let's say the most difficult one. The most difficult one to get the color right.
Getting a color right.
To get the color right.
I mean, any garment dyed t-shirt.
Yeah. You know what else I really love? I have to add this in my top 5, even though it may be like 6. Paragon. Paragon makes really, really nice dry fit shirts.
Oh.
Yeah, I love Paragon. I love printing Paragon. Yeah, really love that. Yeah. And Sport Tech.
I'm not too familiar with that. Yeah.
You don't get a lot.
You know me. I'm just trying to pick 100% cotton tees.
Okay. Are you looking on see about what you ordered?
Yeah. Mostly Gildan, you know.
Well,
Gildan brands.
Basically order G5000s all the time. But
Yeah.
now we're ordering like the soft style more because it's not too far off the price. And when we're doing our one offs, we throw it in because it's a nicer shirt than the G5000. So we'll say, hey, let's just make it a little bit nicer for the customer. It's like how we give them like a little up, like we sell, not sell up because we're still charging the same, but we give them a little benefit
Yeah. I,
of having.
I like AS Color as well too, though. Do you work with AS Color at all?
No, no.
Maybe. Are you familiar with them? Maybe they're
Yeah,
just. I think they're
yeah,
just in
yeah.
California, but we use them a lot. Like when we've printed MSC shirts on some of their long sleeves and tees, and we give it out, and then our clients will come back and say, "I want to use that brand that you gave us," and so that's
Oh,
kind of how we also introduce different brands to our customers. But
uh-huh.
AS Color probably produces some of the best quality, I guess, for the price range that people are looking for. So we sell a bunch of their products.
Hmm. So Lane 7 is a really nice long sleeve t-shirt that they showed us today. Super nice. It was like,
I think they reached out to us. I'm not too familiar with them.
okay, well, you can.
I wanna
I don't,
ask you about I wanna ask you, Christina, about the equipments. Changing a little bit from
Yep.
the garments to the equipments. As I just saw a few days ago from your Instagram account, your company Instagram account, you have like a folding machine of t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
That's a really nice
Yeah.
video. I really like it. So
Thanks.
what other equipments do you have? Like
Yeah. So
I don't
we
know.
this was an already existing print shop. So a lot of the machines that we have, I just acquired in the sale. So we're an M&R shop, so all our machines are blue. We have two automatic presses, and our dryer is M&R as well. And then we have that folding machine that you saw. We have a rapid tag that we use, which is just like a mini auto. Are you familiar with the rapid tags? The
I
orange and
am.
blue
Mhm.
machines. Do you have one of those? Couple of those? You got 10 of those, Meryl?
We got 20 of them. So our next location.
Yeah, we got one of those. We're trying to incorporate it more. We haven't been using it as much as we have been, but
Mhm.
we just got our second automatic press in 2021, at the end of 2021. So that's been a big change for us to have the option of having, beforehand, I feel like we had reached our capacity because if there was like a process print on the auto, we were essentially shut down because we can't do two process prints at once.
Mhm.
Um, so that was kind of difficult when we reached our cap and then got that second auto and kind of just opened up the production and allowed us to produce more than we ever have before. So lots of machines. I think probably our next purchase will be the dryer or direct to screen machines.
Mhm.
What
Are
brands
you?
do you prefer to work with?
Probably stick to M&R. That's just what we have. But I mean, I'm open to other brands too. It's just we haven't really explored purchasing new equipment.
I'm gonna get that
Um,
rock machine.
yeah, maybe if they want to give me a free one.
Yeah, right. Those are huge. They're so big they do everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and anything. So, um, speaking of equipment, let's talk about like workflow. So, how do you handle your workflow?
Yeah. So I'm very grateful to have a software like Printavo to help us manage the calendar essentially. Like prior to this, we were using Google Calendar to schedule out jobs every day and slowly but surely adding Printavo into it, using their calendar. Uh, Automation features have just changed the game for us pretty much. So um, every day we're in Printavo. All the information that we need for the production team is in there. And so it's kind of just the central hub for us to manage our workflow and communicate.
Do your pressmen log into that also, or?
Yep.
You,
The production team is logged into that on the floor and they access that. We just started using different features for it. I feel like in the last few years we haven't really explored everything there is to use with Printavo. So we're definitely getting into, figuring out different features. They have statuses, so you can color coordinate where certain jobs are at in production. So color coordination has helped us, and the automation of statuses. So if something goes from finished in embroidery to ready to pack, it sends a notification to the person that's packing. If it's in mock-ups and the customer approves it, then it sends an automated message to the person that's ordering the garments. And so it's just helped to speed everything along.
that's cool, and I'm sure that they update things as people request certain needs. That
there's new features that are coming out.
Yeah, that's cool. I always think that the software that is created for our industry or any industry, the people that designed it and build it, it's crazy how they know more than we do. they know what we're going to anticipate our needs to be, which is really great. Yeah. So
I mean, part of that also is just hearing from print shop owners and their customers and people that use their product. Like a few months ago, I just sat in and they are having a new receiving feature, ordering of garments. So they had me just test it out. I gave feedback. I kind of just told them what my thinking was, looking at it all. So they took notes, and it's a feature that's coming out soon. So I just think same thing that Gildan is doing. It's just listening to your end user and listening to their needs, and then adjusting your product to fit those needs. And Printful's definitely done a good job at doing that. They're ahead of the game.
Yeah. I think that that having the larger companies dealing with a small business, we're all small. Well, most of the printers that I know, maybe except Rich, we're small businesses. Except for there's certain ones that are bigger than others. There's certain ones that are smaller than others. There's certain so there's when I grow up, I want to be like Rich, But and we're talking about our friend Rich Santos, who has an amazing screen print business, and
Culture Studio.
And he, his software, I think he made his own software. I think his own workflow software, because his needs were completely different from your needs, my needs, and the regular normal people's needs.
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy to hear him say that he created his own, because I am sure that was extremely expensive, which is why we have to sometimes charge what we charge, because we as small business people are still paying a lot of money to have these, to be able to produce these items for you. So, Christine, how many people do you have working for you?
I have a staff of 10 these days.
Okay. These days. And
when it gets busy in the busy season, then we add a few people here and there to help with extra folding, bagging, catching, whatever it is. But right now there's 10 of us.
Does your community ask you to bring in interns?
Yep, we have a summer intern right now. Who came from the community that I came from. His dad works at a restaurant that we print for.
Okay.
So we kind of got connected through personal connections, and a lot of the team has been added within the last 2 years, I would say. Kind of after the pandemic, we reshifted. We got the second auto and needed more hands. I needed more off of my plate, so just delegating and creating new roles. We just needed more people on board. So only one of the people that's currently on staff has been here prior to us moving into this new facility. A lot of the old team has left, so it kind of feels like it's a brand new team. But kind of crazy. to think about that.
What do you think if you could just do one thing, like all day long at work, like your most important, like your most fun thing, or something that you feel you're best at? What would be that one? I'm going to say your one role that you would have, or because I know having a small business, you play 1,000 roles,
Yeah.
and so what would be the one thing that you would enjoy doing mostly in your business the most?
I guess my main role is sales and marketing. It's not that I have all day, every day to focus on that. So that is what I would like to do most of the time is just sales in terms of meeting with our customers, helping them figure out what it is they're looking to brand. And then marketing is just, being myself and
Mhm.
meeting people in the community and um, also social media. Just like that's how people get to know us even more and just trying to work to, you know, shake some hands, kiss some babies so that people know what Midnight Supply Company is.
You're going to run for commissioner.
Yeah, I have some office goals I need to run.
So
Maybe
you do
maybe
your
in
own
like
social
5 years.
media. What? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
President of the HOA, something like that.
Right.
Those are my long-term goals.
You do your own social media, right?
Yeah, it's me.
Did you ever hire anybody to do it for you?
We've never hired anyone to do it. You know, that is probably my favorite role is just running the social media accounts because some people don't even realize it's me. And I love the fact that it's my business. I have no filter on it. I can post whatever I want and no one's really, filtering me to do it because I am literally the one doing it.
Mhm.
But, eventually it's when we have bigger budgets to create content that I want to be creating, then that stuff gets passed off and, um, you know, then it becomes less authentic.
Right, 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 right. I
I
love
think
that.
I've done a good job at keeping it authentic.
Yeah. So Guillermo creates most of our content. Um, I'll sometimes give him ideas. Sometimes he just comes up with whatever himself, and it's great to have. I mean, he's the first person I've had many people help me or work on or that I paid to do social media. Nobody's done it the way I wanted it done, and
Yeah.
I'm not like a control freak as far as that goes. I am because being a graphic designer by trade initially, that's what I was. I obviously I know how to design, so that's where I get like, ooh, we tweak this, we tweak that, we tweak this, we tweak our direct mailers. We don't, that's not just something. Again, tweak your nose and put out a mailer. We go back and forth with kind of like every little detail. And
Yeah.
so I spent a lot of time doing it. Do you do direct mail marketing or any? How do you market besides word of mouth?
Yeah. I mean, definitely want to focus on more of those avenues this year. We really haven't had to do any of that stuff, but I think it's like so important now where we're at a point where I'm trying to, scale this even larger that, mail marketing, we don't even have like a email list. I mean, I'm sure there's a list that somebody has somewhere at the back end of the website. Um, but like utilizing that even is a next step. But a majority of it is word of mouth and social media. Just like I said, it's like we try and push people to follow us on Instagram and continuously putting out content and just in the chance that someone thinks about the need for t-shirts that they'll remember us and or even if they're not thinking about it, just like making sure that we're showing our services on social media and what we offer so that even if they're not thinking about it, they know that it's what we offer.
So as you're telling me this, something else just popped in my head. Um, in your area, and this would really be for people that are listening or wherever they're listening from, something to think about. I don't know if you could even answer this question or not, but the businesses and the families and the schools. Well, the schools are going to be there. The schools stay the same, but the businesses and the people is your area a stable area or is it a transient area? So the customer you had 10 years ago, is that customer still in your neighborhood?
You know, let's see. Who are some of the long-term customers? It's hard because we just went through a pandemic that wiped out a lot of mom and pop shops and small businesses, and some of the people that we did work with before that are no longer in business. So um, a lot of that was just changed by the pandemic, and I'm sure that that's the same in many areas across the country. But um, yeah, I just feel like we work with a lot of touring musicians, so it's sometimes people that aren't local. We work with a lot of the local restaurants and events and festivals. So some of that stuff we hadn't done in the last 3 years because it wasn't existent. But a lot of those companies that we have worked with, I would say it's like the local events and festivals that are now coming back. We're seeing their orders again, but through the pandemic, it was almost non-existent. We had to shift to clientele that was still open and operating, I guess. So we gravitated towards cannabis companies. They were on the list for our state of like essential businesses. So we started working with more of those companies. I think a lot of outdoor sports, outdoor activities. We have mountains out here, so skiing, snowboarding, bikes, all of those kept going in the pandemic, and so we continue to do those types of orders. But yeah, it's been a wide range of clientele. Some of them didn't survive, and some of them now just coming back.
Right, but even if it's the same business, you're going to have people that say you used to deal with the person at this organization or company, and now they're not there anymore. And so whatever relationship you had with them, now you have to develop develop a relationship with the current person who's in charge of their purchasing. So you got to, do that again. The whole, getting to know you.
It's kind of worked to our benefit, I would say. I feel like a majority of the people that have shifted in those roles, they've put women in those roles, and it's easier for me to communicate with women, even for one of our longest clients, it shifted to a woman who then, you're right, I had to, build a new relationship with. And prior to that, we were only doing sewing for this company. And when the job shifted, she was like, "Oh, you guys do screen printing." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we've been doing, you've just only sent us sewing in the past." And so that kind of opened the door to the opportunity of printing for them. And now we do, all of their screen printing. So it just, I don't know. It was a sad thing for some companies.
You just touched on another thing. So here, this company knew that you did embroidery. They knew you did sewing, but they didn't know you did screen printing. And they probably were at your shop from picking up orders or whatever. And you probably have it written on a business card, or you have it on social media, and you have it on your website. But they've got the blinders on that you do sewing, but you don't I never thought to call you for t-shirts. I'm calling you for embroidery.
Yeah.
And that's mind-boggling to me. It's another obstacle. It's mind-boggling.
Well, they have a print facility of their own. So I think that's why originally we didn't get that business, and we specifically were just doing the sewing for them. And then when it switched, it was also a time when their print shop was getting overwhelmed. So she was like, "We can't finish these in time. Do you have capacity for that?" So that's kind of how we got in with their screen printing, was because they didn't have capacity at their own shop.
Got it. Or they probably would say to you,
still mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling. Like this is
should have printed with us sooner. Yeah.
Like, oh, you could embroider baseball caps. Oh, I didn't know you embroider polo shirts too. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. That some of the stuff is mind-boggling. But this isn't like Caddy spill the tea. This is just like spill the tea.
We're only on episode one. This can be whatever you want, Meryl.
We can be whatever. Right, 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 right. We're going to be proper. We can just spill the tea. Well, where are pearls? Oh, I am wearing pearls. Where are pearls?
Oh yeah, send me some pearls in the bag next time.
Yes. Okay.
If we want that to be the theme, I will happily accept.
So, Guillermo, do you have any more questions for Christine?
Yeah, actually, with the AI, how do you manage? Have you ever start like doing experimentation with incorporating AI to your workflow? I don't know, social media. I don't know in the
We
few
have not started incorporating AI into what we're doing. I
or
mean,
experimented with AI.
I haven't yet, but maybe I will. I guess I just haven't really. I know it's like everywhere right now. I live under a
Yeah,
rock, so uh, if something is happening currently, I'll catch the wave in about 5 years. Uh,
maybe sooner than you expect.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, and it's the same thing with all the technology in our industry. Like when DTG first came out, everyone was selling us on certain machines, and people jumped at it right away. And then it took a few years later to kind of see where the machines were going, what updates they made to it, what issues people who bought the initial one were dealing with. And I've just sat back and kind of waited to hear feedback. So I'm just sitting back waiting to hear feedback on all this AI stuff, learn from other shops that start using it. I'm waiting for a shop to tell me, like, I mean, I'm sure it's out there. Like I said, I live under a
Yeah,
rock, and
probably
so
in the future or in a
probably
few
didn't hear
months,
someone say it out
pre-travel,
loud
we
to tell
have
me the
like an
benefits of
update
it.
with AI.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, it's out
right.
there. I just haven't paid much attention to it, and you know, eventually we can incorporate it into what we're doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, we use it quite a bit for for marketing purposes.
Oh, that's good. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I've seen videos of people like it spits out 10 different videos, so you have your content for like the month. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's
Yeah.
your experience with it, Guillermo?
Well, for marketing purposes, I mean, it's awesome because it gives you the head start. It will not give
Yeah,
you, it's not there to give you like 100%, but I think the 50% you need to start, so
yeah, it just gives you like the
it's,
framework. Yeah,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah, I
Right.
think this awesome. Some people are scared, some people are, oh no, I don't like it. Uh, James
it's
Cameron
not that I'm
Terminator,
scared of it. I just
Skynet
haven't
will
gotten
kill
around to
us.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. People are afraid of it. They think it's going to just dummy us all down. And in a way, if you let it do that, it will. But if
I
you
mean,
use it as just a tool, like inspiration, use it for inspiration, then that is how it'll work well and not make you become an idiot, than just a slave to AI, to this computer. But it's
yeah, it's
crazy.
powerful. I can create my own episode of Spill the Tea with Meryl's face and my voice and make her
Right,
say different things, you know?
right, right, right. How do you know I'm really here? I know it's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Hero, is that really you on there?
I don't know, maybe.
AI generated Guillermo.
Yeah, I'm self-aware.
Okay, one last question. So we've been on for an hour now, and I think it's great. I'm so happy. So 1 hour. I'm so happy that you are our first guest on Spill the
What
Tea.
an honor, Meryl.
It
What
was
an honor.
an honor to be your friend and associate, and all the experiences that we have had together and are going to have in the future. I'm sure is
Yep.
I look forward to all of them. And so, one last question is, what would you like to ask us?
What would I like to ask my friends at Spill the Tea? I would like to ask my friends at Spill the Tea. Um, Now that you both have, this platform that we're starting here, episode one, what do you hope, comes out of it? What type of guests do you plan to have on here? Spill the tea.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think that what the purpose of Spill the Tea is to bring people in the community together. And in the past bunch of years, I don't know exactly how many, something past bunch of years, it seems like when I reach out to people in the business, at first they're like, "Oh, we think we're gonna tell you our secrets. We're not telling you our secrets." But then when they get to know me, they realize that the more knowledge we all have, the better our businesses are going to be, and the better we're going to be as people understanding what we do, as opposed to being like like in a box and not allow anything in and not allow anything out.
Yeah.
So that expression, like sharing is caring, and I think that where I come from, the graphic design world, is different than where you come from in the sales world, different than where Guillermo comes in the graphic design world,
Hmm.
and all the people that we have met. There's there's techie people, and there's technical people, and there's artistic people, and there's numbers people, and there's visual people, and manufacturers and suppliers, and so many people, and chemists, and and sewers, and people that make zippers and thread, and and strings for hoodies, and all kinds of things,
Yeah.
and there's so many people that we can all learn from, and it's just really cool to be able to share that experience. And that's what I want Spill the Tea to be, where we're all gonna, like, spill our secrets and tell things to each other that we don't have the opportunity to on a daily basis because we're so busy working in our business or on our business.
Yeah,
Love it.
as me as a graphic designer, I would like to learn the technical part of the t-shirt creation, the printing process, because I know how to create the graphics, but I like to know more about the technical part.
Yeah.
But,
So I'm
and
just
we want you,
curious for that.
and printers want you to know those things. They're like thrilled to find a graphic artist that understands print production.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an art in itself. So thank you, Christine, for being
You.
with us at Spill the Tea. And stay tuned next time, everybody. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. And and I'm supposed to say, like us, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and all of those things. And because that will subscribe, and down here and down there, and maybe we'll look at the camera the right angle next time. I'm not really sure where we're looking. But thank you for joining us on Spill the Tea. And we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Spill the tea.
Spill the
Spill
tea.
the tea.